Right, welcome back. SA Today continues. Top story at this hour, just after breaking news. Justice Minister Ronald Lamola says that arrangements are now being made with Tanzania to have convicted rapist and murderer Thabo Bester and his partner return to South Africa. Bester and Dr. Nandipha Magudumana, along with the Mozambican national, were apprehended last night by Tanzanian authorities. Bester and Magudumana have been on the run since his escape became public last month, where it had been believed that he had died in a fire at the Mangaung prison in Bloemfontein in May of last year. On that note, let us get an update from Tanzania. We cross to our correspondent Isaac Lukando. Isaac, good afternoon. Thank you for your time here on the SABC.
Good afternoon to you too.
All right, so I just perhaps on the back of the press briefing that was concluded in South Africa and the arrests that obviously have now been confirmed by both countries, what details do you have from Tanzania following the arrest of Thabo Bester and the others?
The journalistic fraternity here in Tanzania had little information, if any, about Thabo Bester when this day started. Because of what was happening in terms of the media in South Africa, is how Tanzanian journalists got to know about Thabo Bester. It is in fact just a few minutes ago that I got a confirmation from the spokesperson of the police force here in Tanzania that indeed 3 individuals have been apprehended last night. Of course, Thabo Bester, Dr. Nandipha Magudumana, and an individual called Zakaria Alberto, believed to be a Mozambican national, that were arrested in Arusha by the regional police there. So this information is pretty new here in Tanzania, and most of what we can gather is based off of what the South African government has just briefed the public not so long ago today.
Isaac, thank you for that update. I think just as we look at, the issue that occurred in Tanzania and the arrests that had been made, how rife are cases where Tanzania perhaps is used as an exit point? Can you think of other cases that could relate to what's unfolded this time round?
I believe that the reason why there was a delay in getting information or confirmation of the arrest of these 3 individuals is, as the Justice Minister, South African Justice Minister, said that these individuals were carrying several passports and perhaps, we're not quite sure, traveling maybe under aliases. But Interpol was on the case, the Tanzanian National Police was on the case, and these individuals were apprehended towards the Tanzania-Kenya border, which is quite a distance if you assume that they came in through maybe the Zambian or Malawian border, which is in the south of the country. Quite a huge distance to travel in between and get apprehended on the other side of the country. Such instances happen quite often. There are a lot of individuals, illegal migrants particularly, who pass through Tanzania from Ethiopia and Somalia going to South Africa. And these number in their thousands every year. As we speak, there are presumably thousands of them in Tanzanian jails. And so this particular case of Thabo Bester might have gotten lost, easily lost, in the huge number of cases, similar cases where individuals travel, perhaps trying to hide their identity and pass through. But many of them do get apprehended here in Tanzania, and we do have, fortunately, confirmation of their arrests. But to answer your question, yes, this is a common occurrence who use the Tanzanian route to get to the Horn of Africa, to and from the Horn of Africa. So presumably Thabo Bester was headed into Kenya to go who knows where.
All right, Isaac, thank you for that update. Isaac Lukando is a correspondent, SABC Correspondent, live from our studios in Tanzania, really just giving us an update in Tanzania on the back of the rearrest of Thabo Bester, including a Mozambican national, and Dr. Nandipha Magudumana. We understand that they were about 10 kilometers from Kenya when the arrest took place whilst traveling in an SUV. Earlier on, a press briefing which began around 2 p.m. really just highlighting and unpacking the manner in which it all occurred, and perhaps answering some of the questions that the media had on behalf of the public, as this story obviously gained traction when it became public last month after his escape in May of last year.